Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day's going wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. We are creating with the Photoplay Papers DIY Home Collection. If you guys need masculine cards, this collection is perfect for that. And I think it's super fun because it's not only great for guys, but it's great for gals too. We're going to be using some fabulous pattern papers in here. And then this collection also has a fun stamp set. It has a saw and a paintbrush, and it has the tape measuring tape, a few nuts and bolts and nails, and some fun sentiments to go with it. And we're going to be using the coordinating die set also. And I didn't know this, but in the coordinating die set, you have a sheet that you can color in and cut out if you're not great at stamping. I think this is just wonderful. So I love that they include this in there as almost like a bonus when you pick up the coordinating die set. There are some fun pattern papers in here and a fabulous sticker sheet. We're going to be using the tape measure and the sticker sheet today. I'm going to go ahead and take this out, and let's go ahead and pick our pattern papers. For today's card, I picked the wood grain, and I also picked the brick background for our project. So I always trim my papers into 6x6 panels. It makes it easier. I'm going to go ahead and set these aside, and we're going to start by doing a little bit of stamping and coloring using our stamp set. Let's see, we are going to stamp our paintbrush. So we have the paintbrush, we have the nail, and a nut and a bolt. We're going to go ahead and pick this up with our stamping positioner. I'm going to ink up my images with an alcohol marker friendly ink. We're going to color in these images with some alcohol markers. Okay, wonderful. And do I want a couple extra nuts and bolts? Maybe. And I'm going to stamp one more nut and one more bolt for good measure. If we don't use them, we can put them on the inside. To color in my images, I mentioned we're going to be using alcohol markers. The colors that I'm going to be using are these, some grays, browns, reds, and yellows to color in my images. While I color in my images, I'm going to zoom in, play a little bit of music for you, and when I'm done coloring, I'll be right back. take the coordinating dies, we'll separate these. I will cut out each one of my images and I'll be right back. My images are all die cut out, so we're going to put these off to the side. And now we're going to work on our background for our card. I have 2 pieces of pattern paper. I love the wood grain. We're going to trim this down so it's slightly smaller than my card base. So I'm going to trim this down to a panel that measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. For my brick pattern paper, we're going to trim this down to 2.5 inches tall by 4 inches wide. Wonderful. My card base today is a standard A2 size card base. It's side folding. So it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. I'm going to start by taking my brick pattern paper. We're going to turn it around and add some adhesive behind it. After I have this adhered, we're going to take our 12 by 12 sticker sheet and I'm going to take the ruler. I think this is so playful and so fun. I'm going to take my panel to the ruler. I'm going to tack it down all the way to the left just above where our pattern paper meets, and then I'm going to trim away the excess. Wonderful. I'm going to trim this panel down. Right now it measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. I'm going to trim 1/4 inch off of this. I wanted a little bit more of my card base showing, so we're just going to trim it to 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. After my panel is trimmed down, I decided to bring in the navy blue tone-on-tone pattern paper with like the blueprint in the back. The little renovation form. I think that's pretty cute. We're going to put this, we're going to cut this to a panel that measures card front size. So it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. This is going to go directly on our card base. And I like textures on my card, and I think some white twine is going to work out perfect for that. So I'm just going to wrap some twine between the seam of the sticker and also the brick a couple of times. And then I'm going to tie a bow off to the left here. Okay, wonderful. I'm going to take my corner rounder. Using the 1/2 inch side, I'm going to trim a 1/2 inch off the top right corner. And I'm going to do the same thing to this panel. Since we have a lot of brick opened up over here, I think that's going to look really nice. I'm going to adhere this panel directly to my card base. We'll just flip it around and add some adhesive. Once our panel's adhered, we're going to go ahead and take our colored in elements. I already put foam adhesive behind them. Okay, I think that looks wonderful. We have a little bit of dimension, we have some texture, and now we need a sentiment. There's lots of fun sentiments in our stamp set, but for today's project I'm going to use one of the stickers and our 12 by 12 sticker sheet. Again, this is the DIY home edition collection. I just think it's so much fun. I think If Dad Can't Fix It, No One Can is a perfect sticker for this card. I'm going to flip it around, and since this is the sticker, I'm going to go ahead and add my adhesive directly to the back. This is how I like to do it. Once we have the adhesive on the back side of our sticker, I can take my anti-static powder tool and I can tap off that stickiness with powder. This is before you remove the release paper. And now your sticker is no longer sticky, which makes it nice because you don't want it squishing down in the mail. I'm going to remove my release paper here. And we'll take our sentiment and I'm going to place it on our card, overlapping our paintbrush here. Wonderful. And lastly, we need a little bit of shine. I'm going to add a little bit of shine. This is Glossy Accents over the paint on my paintbrush to give it a little bit of dimension. We'll also go over the nail here for a little bit of added dimension. A little bit of shine here. And the strings too. Have a little bit of dimension, a little bit of shine, and that finishes off my card today. I thank you so much for joining me. I wish you a wonderful day, and we will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.